This film makes me cordially criticize why directors stopped making art films. Because the era changed? Or your financiers gave up due to less interest? Without a doubt, it is unthinkable to expect art films to be that successful like the mainstream films. But for the love of genre, for the love of art films, this culture needs a new wave. Three of Us is a definite spark that reflects upon people there still thinking of such stories. Hey everyone, the Dark Knaik is here. In Mumbai, Shailaja works in the divorce division of the family court. Her husband, Dipankar Desai, is a social security agent. One night, Shailaja requests Dipankar to immediately take her to Vengurla, where she spent her childhood. She wishes to meet her childhood friend, her teacher, her school, her haunting memories, and her lost love Pradeep before she forgets all this permanently. Because a few months ago, Shailaja was diagnosed with dementia. I have no knowledge about this film if Three of Us is based on a true story, but all of us can relate this film. This film is a memory lane and has an emotional tendency to rewind back your life where it all started. Because the director Avinash Arun and his team of writers, including himself, have taken a meticulous care of small things that are either precious to memories or reflect on shading importance. Just like Shailaja assembling a foliage, being guessed at someone and listening to strange incidents. Sarika asking husband Pradeep about the new dish she prepared from YouTube, etc. There is another small detail that touches our heart. When Shailaja, Pradeep and Gauri visit their school and tries to recognize their class if it was 7th or 8th grade, Shailaja correctly recognizes the class by noticing some marks on the wooden table. And if you notice further, the mark is of a big heart of hearts with eyes of woman, indicating that Shailaja fell in love with Pradeep in this class. Shailaja visits to her classical dance teacher and her students perform. Visibly, the choreography was not perfectly synchronized, and why would it be perfect? After all, the dancers were not ready to collectively perform to a special guest, and this looked very natural. Emotional impact take rounds in such excellent filmmaking. During the work, when her client asks if she thinks 4 years is not a long enough time, the next scene, a train races on her emotion, deciphering an empty past and an incomplete life. Three of Us enriches the storytelling by talented casting. Swanand Kirkire has a handy supporting role of Shailaja's husband Dipankar, who shoulders her in every path she desires to walk back to her early life. Jaideep Ahlawat plays Pradeep and brings a desperate optimism and breathing in the script. For someone who didn't expect her return after such a long time is in disbelief and tries to live his settled life with a sudden change. An actor like Jaideep Ahlawat superbly fits into the character. How actors like him are so learned and skilled. You can examine that in his opening scene of reflex acting when he looks at Shailaja after 28 years, and then when he talks about his father to her, and that emotional sequence at the Ferris wheel. The scent of the story is Shefali Shah as Shailaja, who perhaps has given her most stellar performance to date. It is her body language, her facial expressions, and the burning sentiments of being distraught and haunted. The first upsetting incident at the park envisages her horrors of the near future and gives her a plausible state of mental health that is further going to slip the disc. Observe her reactions in all her reunions with people of her time. For this role, Shefali dresses quite a different constellation of smile. I was observing her posture the whole journey to the small town. Look at Shefali's acting when she loses her track while dancing and slowly leaving the stage. It is a 90-minute film, and there was a tremendous balance in the characters that built up a script with maturity. Most of the major characters spoke to each other at decent lengths. The relation and behavioral attitude among the characters is so realistic and natural. Dipankar was half silent in his wife's emotional journey because he could do nothing else at all, as he had no knowledge about her childhood days, nor did he know about her and Pradeep. I don't know how closely anyone noticed, but if you remember the scene when Shailaja looks at the frame and Gauri confirms that one of the kids in the frame is Pradeep, the very next scene, you can see the first shade of discomfort on Dipankar's face. But Dipankar maturely grew with the developments and communicated with Pradeep with respect. I liked his series of gestures when he leaves them on the table in the beginning to talk and later asks Pradeep to ride with her on the Ferris wheel. Dipankar knew his place. He cared and respected Shailaja. In a tragic phase of the syndrome, Shailaja never crossed a limit, nor did Pradeep. Pradeep had spoken about his childhood love to his wife, Sarika, and not only shared with her that she returned to the town after 28 years and met her, but also invited them to dinner and introduced each other. When Pradeep hesitated to ask, Sarika encouraged him to take Shailaja to places where she wanted to visit. After ages, I was comfortable, happy, and at peace to see the magnitude of such respect between the characters. This type of relationship artistry has been missing for decades. Back in the 80s, the parallel cinema about the dramatic portrayal of relations peaked and then gloomed away. For once, I felt as if that era of art films is revived now through Three of Us. This film makes me cordially criticize why directors stopped making art films. Because the era changed? Or your financiers gave up due to less interest? Without a doubt, it is unthinkable to expect art films to be that successful like the mainstream films. But for the love of genre, for the love of art films, this culture needs a new wave. Three of Us is a definite spark that reflects upon people there still thinking of such stories. Three of Us is a fine craft that has given tremendous respect to the technical work. From catching a heavenly soothing presence of Vengurla town to writing the simplest of all fabulous dialogues, Three of Us is a beautiful melancholy, and the nostalgia-driven elements carry subtlety. Three of Us is like reading a novel and trying to figure out the lost identity and seeking forgiveness. I'm Shefali Naik.